Alright, this is Adventure for Life. It's Joel. This is day 7 of the Idaho BDR. Again, going north to south. We stayed at the Sourdough Lodge last night. It was decent. The restaurant was pretty good. Stayed in the Sourdough Lodge Motel last night. Today we're doing the rest of section 2. So yesterday was partly section 3 and part of section 2. We're going to Pine and then to, what was the name of that other town? Glenn's Ferry, Glen something or other. We'll figure that out when we get there. 150 miles, cool crisp morning. Looks like we got an air pressure issue here, so Jason's got to air his tire up. I don't know how far off it is, but anyway. By the way, the guys were checking the tires this morning, and my tires won the Tread Award, Dunlop Trail Max Mission. We got Mitas E07. We got Michelin Anarchy Wilds here. We got John limping because he broke his foot. We got Motaz Raw, I think, over there. Got a variety of other tires here, but the Dunlop Trail Max Mission lasted longer. Now, I'm not saying it's the best tire. I'm just saying that from a tread life standpoint, it clearly is superior to these other tires. It's not knobbies, as we discussed, a week ago or so, like these, but the traction's been fine. So this unscientific tire life experiment says that the Dunlop lives up to its billing and lasts a long time. Okay, well, we're leaving Loman and heading out again. This is day 7. We're going to do the rest of section 2 today. I think maybe gets part of section 1, I'm not sure. Anyway, headed to Pine and then Glenn's Ferry. We'll spend the night in Idaho home and Mountain Home, I'm sorry. So we just went a few miles down the paved road and we're off-road already. You can see the trucks go by, so we just now pulled off the highway. Sandy already, dusty. I just clipped my helmet. That was the sound you heard. So we'll see what today holds. Again, 150 miles. Not sure how much of it's pavement and how much of it's off-road. Yeah, so it's 45 degrees, and so I'm getting a little fog on my shield, and then you got the issue of the dust, so I'm going to be lagging pretty far. Jim let those other guys go pretty far. I'm going to let him go pretty far because I sure don't want to get dust on this fog, and then it'll just be coated on there. Anyway, looks like it'll be another pretty day. We had washboards yesterday, like what I just went over, for miles and miles and miles and miles, and that's no fun because it just kind of beats you to death. Okay, we're climbing a mountain, doing a bunch of switchbacks. We got a very picturesque view early in the morning. Good way to start your day. Temperature's already gone up to 56 degrees, and it was not 15 minutes ago that it was 41. So obviously the sun's started, whoop. Seen a bunch of those little, I don't know if they're chipmunks or what they are. They're not squirrels, but they like running out on the trail periodically. Anyway, beautiful way to start the morning. Crisp, clear. Wish there was a little less dust, but other than that, you're not going to get much better than this. Little sandy. You just gotta be, you start cutting in that sand, and you're gonna go down, so you gotta bleed the speed before you get into it, even though you're not going very fast. We crested the mountain that we were climbing. Got to a kind of open area here. Probably took 15 minutes to climb that mountain. You know, I recorded a little bit along the way, so pretty sandy still. You're gonna get tired of hearing about sand. Ooh, that was a lot bigger drop than I expected. Anyway, more open view up here. Yeah, these are, I assume all these humps are for water diversion to keep the trail from getting eaten up, but some of them are pretty abrupt. We've descended from the mountain that we just climbed. We're in this real narrow little lower area, still descending. Obviously it was flat just a second ago. I didn't realize we were still going to descend, but anyway, I like these little canyons like this. There's your pretty purple flowers again. They're all over Idaho, obviously. There's some more of them, if you can see them as I go by. There's more. Anyway, rocky sides of the mountain. This is just that same silty hard pack that we've been driving on. It's back down to 42 degrees, so I guess just because we're in the shade, the sun hadn't you can see the sun on the side of the mountain there, but this is interesting. A little bit of a washout here. It's not the stream that gets you, it's the rocks in the stream that get you. So it looks like we're going to stay on the right. Well, Jason went through in a different spot. There goes Jim in the same spot. So I will attempt the same. Well, that was fun and interesting. I mean, not all that difficult, but it was fun. This right here is not dust. That's a little smoke coming off my motor, just from the water hitting it. Anyway, not too difficult, but fun nonetheless. I think we read, oops, sometimes it goes into neutral. Anyway, we read about that little section right there. Somebody got on, posted on the IDBDR Facebook page or something like that to watch out for that spot, because you're coming around a corner where you could be going relatively quickly, and apparently somebody got hurt pretty bad at that spot because they were tooling along pretty quickly, and that was just came out of nowhere, and they couldn't react in time and went down, and apparently got hurt pretty severely on that. I think the guy said the guy had to be life flighted out of there. It's kind of like that section on the Washington BDR. You're riding along, and all of a sudden there's these 5 big dips that were probably as deep as that you just absolutely don't expect, and you got no forewarning whatsoever. Anyway, it was fun. Okay, that little sign there says road closed, unsafe to travel. So that's where we just came from on that dip. So obviously they're telling cars not to go that direction. They didn't have a sign coming from the other way, so that's a little interesting. We're just past that big dip, and this tells you where we're at. Idaho City 22, North Fork of the Boise River 10, Atlanta. I didn't realize that we were that close to Atlanta. Anyway, obviously Atlanta in Idaho.
37 miles.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, won't take me long to get home. So we've ridden about 25 miles. Took a quick stop here. Oh, we're only 27 miles from Atlanta. How about that? Know your bull. I guess that's a bull. I don't know what kind of fish that is. Anyway, back down to 44 degrees, so it might chilly, but we'll get back out in the sun and it'll warm up a little bit. Again, 25 miles in, got 125 to go. This is just a quarter of a mile down the road from where the last video stopped. We're in this canyon. Got the creek running beside the road. Pretty narrow. It's 9:30 in the morning, so there's still lots of shadows and whatnot, but still pretty. I really like these kinds of areas with the rocky cliffs and whatnot. Maybe another section a little bit further down. We've probably ridden 4 or 5 miles. And, same kind of terrain. There was a rocky cliff back there that I wanted to try to get, but I think I missed it. There's one of those little chipmunks again, whatever they are. There's the stream. Pretty good look at the stream there. We've seen lots of them, but they all look gorgeous. Pretty rocky. By the way, we got an extra rider today, and when I say that, it's been Jason and Jim and I riding together, but I joked with John earlier and told him he was slumming with us guys in the back. He broke his foot, took 2 hard falls yesterday, and decided discretion is the better part of valor, and he's going to hang back a little bit. He's done a great job as leader, but taking a little bit easier today. That's Chris taking off right now, but got a little fun bridge that looks like it's coming up right now. So I'll shut this off and turn it back on in a second. We took a short break there. John took off. Now we're crossing this little bridge here. I think we've got a fair amount of road miles today. It's a little bumpy, isn't it? Of course, we've said this is going to be a short day about 5 or 6 times, and none of them ended up being short days. So what it looks like in the morning, again it's 10 o'clock right now, what it looks like in the morning and what it ends up being, there always seems to be something that comes up that or maybe we just manage our time differently when we think we got more time and we just slow down or something. I don't know, but I guess the very first day in Washington was a short day, but every one of the Idaho days have been, you know, anywhere from 150, I think, to 240. So we're pretty quickly. Whoa, man, that is sandy. Get over here where I can get some traction. If I climb this little shelf here, there we go. So that was a serious climb we just did. I'm breathing a little hard. John just took off down the descent side. Looks like we're gonna have some beautiful scenery. And yeah, so there's That's the side we climbed up on. We're at the precipice and heading over. Obviously that road probably goes up a little bit higher, but that's not part of the trail, so we going this way. Yeah, that was a really quick climb. I mean, I started, that last video clip was from basically the bottom. We had just started climbing and we're already at this elevation in whatever, 5 minutes probably. So we were climbing rapidly. I don't know if you can see again, this is a pretty sharp descent too. I'm not saying the whole thing's that way. You can see where we're going. Switch back right there. One of the guys just went around it, so we're descending pretty rapidly. Again, I don't think you can tell because the video doesn't show it very well, but this is probably the steepest descent we have done in the entire Washington or Idaho BDR. I'm in first gear and still hard on the brake, and you can see how slowly the guys in front of me are going. So this is something else as far as how steep it is. I mean, it's fun, but it's interesting. The fact that I even bothered to notice tells you that this is steep, because again, we've done some steep stuff, but this is really something else. That's why we're so close together, because everybody's going so slow. I'm going to at least let it run until we go around this little switch back here, because I'm thinking we're going to get a pretty good view from roughly halfway down the mountain, I assume. Maybe not halfway, but that thing got burned out. So we're still on this very steep descent, but again, we don't get that many, or haven't gotten that many open areas like this, and so I thought I'd film it real quick. Look at the size of that washout there. This has been fun. It's pretty. You see John down there. Look at that. Again, we saw some. I can't remember if that was Washington or Idaho, but that were probably twice as deep as that and twice as wide as that, which I mentioned at the time. Really pretty place. With the stream in the distance here. So this is right after that big open field down beside another creek, river. That's bigger than a creek. A little bit of sand on the road, giving the power to the people. Got a stupid fly inside my helmet, for goodness sakes. How in the world did that happen? Dusty again today, which is a shame. Sure did enjoy yesterday not having the dust, having to wipe the dust off my visor. There you go. Got another nice look at the stream down there. I love being in these canyons. Stop for a quick break. This is a really pretty place. Again, we're down in a canyon here. Got some little junior waterfalls. Who knows what's feeding those? I wouldn't expect there to be snow up there, so must be some kind of spring or something. It is now 68 degrees. It is 10:30, so it's warmed up a bunch. In fact, while we're sitting here, I'm gonna open my vents. Still riding along this same upstream. Got back to the more rocky and canyony area, so I don't know that canyony is a word, but it is now. Passed a couple vehicles back there, so there's a little bit of traffic here too. I think we saw some campers back there. So this is some kind of park or recreation area or something. And I can see why. So we just stopped and met these guys, and the guy that's putting his jacket on right here is named Lance. And he actually helped develop the IDBDR. And one of the things we learned from him was that he was against putting the bottom section into garbage on the route because he said he doesn't even do it. There's deep silt, some of it as much as 2 feet deep, and you just can't do anything with it. So that answers my question as far as my trip's gonna be over today. We'll end in Mountain Home, and then I'll head back after that. So I'm glad we got that information, because we've had several people that tell us it was not the thing to do. He also said it would be at least 100 degrees down there, going from Mountain Home down to Jarbidge. So we're gonna skip that section. You see, we came from behind, which is the actual trail, and he's going off to the left there. So true to his word, they're skipping part of the trail to skip that really steep downhill that we just did, because obviously they'd be doing it uphill, and that would have been significantly more difficult. Entering wheeled motorized restriction area. Okay, still dusty as you can see. So he said there's a pretty steep uphill coming up in front of us, so we'll see what that's like when we get to it. Okay, that guy back there that helped develop this and was guiding a tour told us that this was a pretty steep and rocky section. So you saw a little bit of rock back there. I didn't know how much there was. That was washboard there. So you can see the bikes bouncing around. There's a fair amount. I mean, that's not all that steep. I mean, there was a little bit of steepness there. Of course, we don't know what's coming. Lance, the tour guide, was correct. This is really steep. I mean, it's not, I don't know that it's any steeper than anything else we've done. We passed, Lance was with his group, and there was another pair of guys that we passed, and here's another pair. So obviously this is a pretty popular section of the route. One guy coming, so we'll see when I meet up with him. There he is. He apparently doesn't know the pro hand signals. That's alright. I'm getting close to summiting here. Oops. That was not good. Almost went down. I guess we got a little ways to go. Yeah, I was fiddling with my camera and got going a little too slow, and had to dab my foot, but that's all right. Like I said, this is a pretty steep area here. Whoa. So you get in one shot, you get 2 looks at me almost going down. It's as I've been saying, it's slick with that silt. Always looking for traction. So this is about 60 seconds past that prior clip, and we've already started the descent down there where we're headed. You can see the roads over there that we're going on. I guess I ought to try riding with both hands so I don't go off the edge. Anyway, fun day. Been a lot more relaxing day. I think, you know, again, the fast guys have taken off and they're gone. They had some other things they had to do, so they're leaving the trail today. I don't expect we'll see them again. Our leader's banged up a little bit, so he's taking a little bit easier today. So a little easier ride, a little shorter distance, 150 miles. And again, it sounds like we got 90 of it that's off pavement. We're over halfway done with that, and then the rest of it's on pavement. So we'll see how that ends up shaking out, but that's the plan at this moment. So we just crested another hill. Earlier I said that we had crested a hill, and honestly we had just crested a section of it. We went down just for a few seconds and then started back up. In this particular case, it looks like we're headed down. I don't know if you can see Jason up there, but he's on one of the switchbacks, so I think for sure we're headed down now. That last section, which again, you know, when you hit the hard sections, they come up on you and you don't know it, and so you're in the middle of it, and I don't have time to turn this camera on, but we just went through a pretty steep, pretty rocky section. Nothing that's harder than what we've already done, but again, this guide that we met back there had told us that was coming. So oops, a little bit of a pothole there. Beautiful scenery as always. Riding across a ridge, you can see, you know, way out over on that side. You can see way out over on that side. Pretty cool spot. We may be riding right up here. Maybe this is the top, so I'll let this run for just a second. We may have a better view up here. So this is cool. You can see John and Jason up in front of us, and so we'll be riding along this ridge now for at least a quarter mile, half a mile, whatever. This will be a great place for the drone. Unfortunately, I haven't recharged the batteries because we've just not had the time and whatnot to do all that stuff. Yeah, this would have been about as picturesque as you're going to get. Again, still right on top of the ridge. So you got beauty everywhere you look. So this is Little Trinity Lake. So we're, you know, up pretty high. I have no idea what the elevation is here, but I would think it's at least 4,000 or 5,000 feet. And you got this mountain lake. Pretty cool. So this is the other Trinity Lake. Lots of people here. Rocky Mountain to the right. Obviously people camping up here in a Side by side's paradise. Here's our guys. Well, I'll be proud of that turn. A little herky-jerky, but I made it. A close-up of Trinity Lake. Again, we're, as you can see, we're up in the mountains. I don't have any idea what the elevation is here, but pretty cool. Seen some fishermen and whatnot. One last look at Trinity Lake. Got some canoers out there. Supposedly this is maybe 8,000, 8,500 feet. I said 5 or 6 earlier, I think, but there's a fire lookout not too far from here, and it's not much higher than this, and I think it's at 9,000. So we're on up there, 69 degrees, 1:15 in the afternoon. Beautiful day. Well, here's some overlanders hauling pretty big trailers. What in the world have we got going here? Oh my goodness. This is what happens when you get on these roads with a little bit of traffic on them. This is the first time, probably the first time that we've hit an area with traffic going both ways. Hopefully this guy with this trailer is going to pull over and let us go by, because yeah, he is, because that would be pretty painful to be following that guy. Thanks. Pulling into the town of Pine. This is the river we've been riding beside for a while. So a little bit of asphalt now. So Jim and I rode alongside that reservoir before we ever started the trip. We stayed at a Hampton Inn in Mountain Home, Idaho, and figured out that the BDR actually ran right alongside it. So I believe this dirt road that you see right up here, we're going to go get on, and right alongside the reservoir. That's cool. We're going to skip the last part of it. We've heard from some reliable sources that a lot of silt, a lot of deep silt. It's supposed to be extremely hot tomorrow, so call us quitters if you want to, that's fine. But we're both going to head for home. Yeah, here comes the dirt section here, so I'll video it for a second. It's a nice lake. I mean, a lot of people were here when we were here 2 weeks ago. Hard to believe it's been that long, but it has been. And we'll stay back because of the dust. But really pretty area. So we got away from the reservoir. I think we're going to go back to it, but we're now on this not very high ridge. But got 360 degree views, so it's pretty neat. Again, we're on the final stretch, heading into Mountain Home. Taking a little bit easy. Pretty sandy right here. So there you can see the reservoir from a little higher up. I don't know if we've wrapped around or it's wrapped around or what, but we're going to get down to the point where we ride right down there at close to water level. I guess I can see the trail over there. So I think we rode down to about that area 2 weeks ago. I know it doesn't matter, but Jim and I rode down to that little store right there. We weren't sure where we were going or what we were doing. So 2 weeks ago, that's how far we came. So we got about 15-20 minutes till we're back to pavement and done with the dirt section. So another quick look at the lake here. I guess I ought to be paying attention to what I'm doing. That was not very smart. So here will be a pretty good 180-degree view of the lake. We're crossing over and should get there we go. Really nice lake, well used. There's lots of boats out here and lots of people out here, but pretty place. You can see the road will be way over there too, alongside the lake. We've got a good shot of the dam coming up. There we go. Not all that exciting, but we're going to ride across it in a second, so I'll film that. Gave me the green light. There's Jason. There's the downstream side. Pretty cool riding across the dam. Give you a look at the dam from the other side. Pretty cool. Alright, we're coming into Mountain Home. Pretty arid, but pretty country nonetheless.